So you've decided to get a chameleon, you've been looking in your local area, but you're not having much luck. So then you're asking yourself, is it a good idea? Is it safe to buy a chameleon online? So I'm gonna give you guys some tips and tricks and things to look out for when it comes to purchasing a chameleon online. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So very simply, yes, it can be safe to purchase a chameleon online, but that's not always the case. You first need to make sure that the breeder is legit, okay? There's so many people out there who are scamming or just selling wild-caught, sick, not healthy chameleons. That's really important that you do your due diligence and research the breeder before you're even thinking about purchasing one. So I do have an entire video on how to find a good breeder, so I'll link that for you guys, but feel free to check that out. Make sure that the person has reviews, make sure that the person is specializing in just chameleons. There are plenty of breeders who do specialize in multiple animals, but I have found that people have the best luck with people who just do chameleons. Places like backwater reptiles, underground reptiles, CB reptiles, basically the first places that pop up when you search chameleon for sale tend to sell wild-caught chameleons. And I will not be doing my job and looking out for you guys if I didn't warn you from purchasing from those places. I don't have any experience with them as far as their other animals that they sell, but chameleons specifically, I've lost count on just how many people have DM'd me and messaged me pictures of their sick or dead chameleons that they've received within hours, less than a day, 2 days tops. These chameleons are dying, so you know it has nothing to do with the person's care and that they were shipped a sick chameleon. And it's just absolutely heartbreaking, so it's very important that you're researching these breeders. And if you go into chameleonforums.com and search the breeder, you can see from everybody's experiences, both good, bad, and ugly when it comes to chameleon breeders, so I would definitely check that out. Also, when you're purchasing online, it's very easy to fall into some scams. Pictures are fake, people are not great people, and I've actually had my pictures of, say, like Neptune or my other chameleons be used on like random Facebook pages, and people have DM'd me because they watch my videos. They're like, hey, isn't this Neptune? I go look at it and I'm like, yeah, that's my chameleon that someone's trying to sell. And there's people in the comments, asking if it's still available, what's the price, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, do not buy, that's my chameleon. This is a fake page. So just be on the lookout that making sure that these pictures are legit. Ask for pictures of the baby's parents. There's lots of things that you can do to make sure that you're buying from someone legit. Once you've found a good breeder, someone you trust, you've talked to them, they've talked to you about their care, you've picked out the baby that you want, you might be asking yourself, like, how do I get the chameleon? How do you ship them? Like, is that safe for them? So what people will do is ship the chameleons overnight. They'll package the chameleons in a little deli cup, typically with like a little paper towel or something that can help hold the moisture. And then they'll put insulation, either like a cold pack or heat pack, depending on the temperatures, in a little cardboard box, and they will ship the chameleon directly overnight. What'll happen, because the box is nice and dark, the chameleon will actually just go to sleep. So they will just sleep the entirety that they are in that box, that they're in there for less than 48 hours, ideally less than 24 hours. And then you'll get the chameleon, unbox them, they'll be happy to see you because they're like, get me out of here. And then you can put them inside their enclosure, get them all settled in, and go from there. So while it's definitely not ideal to have a chameleon be shipped and be in that box for that period of time, in the grand scheme, it's a very small amount of time. It's definitely safer than driving them cross country over multiple days, multiple hours, or on the bumpy road. That could be much more stressful. Or you end up buying a sick chameleon because you try and go to, a local chain store, or, someone local who's just like, trading in wild-caught animals or whatever. Like, it's better to go with the healthy chameleon that can take the overnight shipping versus a sick chameleon that's gonna not do so well. When you are shipping a chameleon and dealing with breeders, it's super important that your breeder is in constant communication with you. Constant, okay? And this is a good sign of a good breeder if they're reaching out to you, notifying you of the departure day, the arrival day, checking the temperatures in your local area, making sure it's not too hot, not too hot, not too cold for your chameleon, the Goldilocks temperature of just right, and taking necessary precautions to ensure that your chameleon has the safe travels. Another thing breeders are doing is they're shipping to hubs directly versus to your doorstep or your home. And the reason for this is the shipping hub allows the chameleon to be in, safe, air-conditioned heated areas versus being left on your doorstep, or there's delays in the shipping and then they end up being in the box way longer than they need to, or exposed to cold or hot temperatures because their heat pack or cold pack has kind of run out because those don't last forever. So shipping to the hubs kind of cuts out some of that risk and helps ensure that your chameleon is nice and safe, so you can just go to the hub directly, pick them up, and bring them home. That's actually what I did when I got Venus. She was purchased online and shipped overnight, and she was totally fine. Very excited to get out of her little deli cup, but she did great on the trip over. And of course, when you're purchasing your chameleon online, you're also dealing with online payment. So see if you can take some precautions of ensuring that your payment is safe and secure, using things like PayPal, other things that are similar, or, a credit card that you trust, the company will, fight for you if you end up getting scammed. And I think it's worth mentioning to try and take as many precautions as you can, especially when you're dealing with large sums of money. And it is pretty common for breeders to require a deposit and paid in full. So keep it in mind and see if you can take some precautions to make sure that your money is going where it needs to go. So there you guys have it. Some tips and tricks for purchasing the chameleon online. And yes, it can be safe to do so. That's how I got Venus, but there are some things you need to think about when you do so. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up. Leave any questions or comments down below. Let me know, did you purchase your chameleon online? I feel like more and more people are doing that nowadays. Also, feel free to check out my merch. Ask me about my chameleon. I have other cute sayings available, hats, t-shirts, sweaters, hoodies, and more. So feel free to check those out. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. You can follow Neptune and all my chameleons on social media at Neptune the Chameleon. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Safe to ship a chameleon. I need to think about what I'm going to say before I say it.